I don't know what the issue was before. Everything's set up the same way it was the other night. I'm getting a little aggravated and a little disgusted. All this expensive equipment and that shit don't work. Pisses me off. Anyway, how are you, Paul? We're going to work on a tune Four, F-O-U-R. And we're going to approach this. Hey, Dave, how are you? We're going to approach this way. Pretend there's no title on it. And look at the page as if you opened up the syncopation book. Okay? Now, if you look at this, each line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines, has 4 measures. 4 measures times 8 is 32. That's a standard, basic structure of a jazz tune. But we're not going to deal with it like that right now. We're just going to look at it as, okay, this is line 1 from the syncopation book 1008. Okay? Now, we're not going to play this straight up and down, like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, there's Dave and Paul here. Both you gentlemen, do you understand the difference between straight up and down and swung? Before I go any further, I need to know that. Paul, do you understand the difference between straight up and down and swung? And Dave, do you understand the difference between straight up and down and swung? All you need to do is say yes or no. I need an answer before I go any further. Because if you don't understand the difference, I'm going to give this lesson and you're not going to understand what I'm talking about. There can't be that much of a delay. Sorry. You understand the difference. What about you, Paul? I'll tell you what, this is going to be filmed. It's being taped. It will be processed and go and stay live on, it would be on YouTube, I guess, until I take it off. So I'm going to explain it anyway. Let's take one line of straight eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now I just counted that straight up and down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? Now, I want to swing that. What has to happen when I swing that? All right, I revert to an eighth note triplet feel. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So, what's going to happen now, the downbeat is the first note of the triplet. I skipped the and of the triplet and played a da of the triplet as all the ands. So I'm playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now I'm going to swing it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Again, straight up and down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? Swung. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, Dave, I really need for you to respond to me. You understand what I just did? If you don't, that's okay, because that's why you're here, is to learn. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and straight up and down. Swung, it gives a little bit of an opening there. It's just open, it's loose. 1 and 2 and 3 and okay? That's the difference. Now, we go to the PDF I sent out. I know you don't have it, Dave. I only sent it to a few because I was doing this lesson on my site. You're not a member yet. Okay, so we're having some issues right now with the site, so we're here. You're working? All right. I'm going to tell the boss you're cheating. All right, let's take the first line as if it were, like I said before, page 1002 or 2008 or whatever from the syncopation book. We're not going to take any melodic structure at the moment. We're taking 4 measures, and we're going to play what's written on one surface. Swung. So now you're not thinking of it as a tune, you're thinking as a reading exercise in one of the textbooks. So we have the first line. Okay, here we go, nice and slow. 1 and the play, and the 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the. That's ground zero. That's understanding how to read it. That's breaking it up mathematically. So once you feel that and it's feeling good, you want to up the tempo a little bit. So you're going to get this now. And you can alternate the strokes. Whatever you want to do, you play it on one surface. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4. 1 and 3 and the 4 and the 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, the 4, da. Now I'm going to hang out with the metronome when I'm playing this. Right now I don't have the metronome here. But you want to first get 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and play it up a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Now you're counting it. So now there comes a point you're not going to count it. You're going to hum it. 1, ba 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 da 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 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry, I'm counting. I'm going to hum it. Ba-doo ba ba-doo ba ba-doo ba. Ba-da-da. It goes into the second line. And that's the way you want to approach this. Sorry about my voice. I'm not a singer, and I'm trying to be a drummer. Okay? So that's the way I would approach it. Now, I would recommend, and Paul, you sent me the link for the tune by Miles Davis, 4. Okay? So basically this thing is rhythmically just a slight variation here and there. So you should be able to play this or read it on one surface. Now, you get the tune going on, and let me see, Miles Davis sometimes there's some strange thing going on with him, and that's all that heroin shit. But anyway, what you got here, all right, if you put the tune on, and just with one stick, on the drum pad, on a hi-hat, as the melody's going, and this will make it become musical. Instead of 1, ba 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 da da ba da da 3, 4, 1, 2, ba da da ba da da ba da da ba da da. So now you got to extend the half note and the whole note and whatever. As the tune's going on, tap it out. I have the rhythmic line to the melody structure. Now, there's a section on here I didn't write. It's 8 measures, 8 measures, 8 measures, and 8 measures. The first 8 measures is section A, if you want to put that on your paper. Okay, the second 8 is A again. Well, it's a B section. So you're going A, B. You're going A, B. So it's no A, B, A section. A, B, A, B. And compare as the sections. It's 32 measures. Now you just hum the tune over and over and over and over again with one stick, 2 sticks. Okay, now all the exercises that I've given in the past, all the ways to do the stick control book, you know, playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, triplets with the left hand, and playing all the rights, if you remember, down with the right on the floor tom-tom. If you did this with the melody, as you're humming it, 1, 2, 3, nice and light. 1, 2. That was the first line. It's just another way to do it. If you remember the other ways, if I was playing jazz time, 1, that's another way to do this. You play nice and 1, 2, 3, 4 with the bass drum, heel and toe with the hi-hat, 1, 2, heel, toe, 1, jazz straight ahead time. Let me use the hot rods so you can hear me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I'm feathering the bass drum, and now I'm going to play the first line against the jazz time. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Ba-do-bop, 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 ba-do-bop. Now, while you're doing this, you have the tune on. You're not trying to play what's being played by the drummer that's on the disc. You're trying to learn the tune. You want to dissect this tune. You want to go with this tune 100, 200, 300, maybe 1,000 times, over and over and over again. Paul, is it possible that you can put the link of the tune in the chat for Dave and whoever else? Miles Davis 4. He takes it up tempo, a little bit more, a lot faster than what I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, bang. So you can play it against the triplets, like I just did, and play all the rights on the floor tom-tom, or the bass drum, or play the melody. Play with the hands, the left hand. 1, 2. So on and so forth. Thank you, Paul. Let me see. Let me show it to them. Come on, Mouse, where'd you go? There you go. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Mr. Paul. And I'll contact you, Dave, email, And I'll send you both links that he's going to put up there. And I'll send you the sheets. Now, it's hard to teach you to how to play the tune. Okay? Because nobody's going to make you play but the tune itself. You have to know the tune. You have to hum the tune over and over and over again. It's a really nice swinging tune. It really is. And there's a lot that can be done. Okay? So, it's basically easy. We're going to go back to this again Wednesday evening. Hopefully it's on my site. I got to find out what the hell's wrong. Okay? And, what you call it? We're going to take it over and over again for some new ideas. And we're going to work on the Wayne Shorter tune, Footprints. You have the sheet, right, Paul? I have your email, Dave. That's okay. You're better off emailing me, okay? Because you should be on my mailing list. Here's my email. If you don't have it, email me and I'll send it to you. Well, you have Satin Doll, the A Train, this tune right tonight. We worked on fours, and then Wayne Shorter's Footprints. It's not a difficult tune. There's only one very difficult part to teach, and it can't be taught mathematically. It's the grouping of fives in 6/8. If you see, there should be a bracket on the fives, and that's something you have to feel. I'm going to send you some more on that Footprints. As a matter of fact, there's an introduction or a rhythmic pattern that they're playing. It's in 6/4, if you remember what that means. 6 beats to a measure. Each quarter note gets one beat or one count. Bum, 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 ba, ba, da, ba, da, 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 ba. Wayne Shorter. It's not an easy tune. What's going on with this computer? So, do what I asked you to do with the tune 4, and look over the sheet of Footprints. As a matter of fact, I'm going to resend them to everybody, and I'm going to put the sheet, the links of the tune. The only way that I know how to learn the tune is to play it. Now that sounds hypocritical. Well, how do you play it if you don't know it? Well, as I hear it, I go over and over and over and over and over again, and as I'm playing it, I'm humming it. There is no right, there is no wrong. I mean, if I'm playing Footprints, I'm not going to be thinking 5/4. I'm thinking 6/4, and I'm thinking the melody. And I'm playing inside of the melody. That's teaching you how to play. I can give you some ideas and how I approach it and what I do with it and how I learned it. Now, as a seasoned player, you gentlemen, when you get on stage in a jam session, for example, and you don't know the tune, well, don't feel bad. You're not going to get in trouble. As long as you know the time signature and the structure, and if you've been a seasoned player, as it passes by once or twice, you'll hear it, you'll remember it, you'll feel it. Very simple. You train yourself to do this. Now, Footprints is not easy to teach. The rhythmic formation. But like I said, you can sit behind the drums and just play time. And you're playing the tune. And hum the tune, and you add to it and add to it. The more relaxed, the more you know the tune, the clearer the tune is to you, rather, the more you're going to do with it. Okay, so hopefully we'll be back Wednesday night on my site. I don't know what the hell happened tonight. Everything's working fine. It always has to happen to me. Okay, so you have the tunes. Have any questions, email me. Dave, I will email you sometime tomorrow. Is that okay? So I'm going to sign out now. And hopefully we'll be on my site Wednesday night. If we're not there, we're going to come to YouTube. I have to find out what the problem is. Okay, guys? Hope I've helped you somewhat. So you guys have a good night. Good night, Paul. Good night, Dave, and whoever else is watching and is afraid to talk.